What's going on, everybody? It's Eric from Panola here at panola.edu. Definitely check out our courses that we offer online in cybersecurity, networking, and intro to digital forensics, which, hint, hint, we may be diving into just a little bit of scratch the surface in this objective. Speaking of objectives, in this one, as we make our way through the Security Plus objectives list in SY0601, we're taking a look at Objective 2.7 of Explain the Importance of Physical Security Controls, and this will be coming from chapters 9 and 15. And the book that we're using is the CompTIA Security Plus Study Guide, which I have the ISBNs on the right side of the screen, and that way you could reference this material if you would like. We've touched on physical security pretty good all the way up until this very objective throughout our module review so far. So definitely go back and take a look at the previous videos if you are wanting to refresh on your physical security controls and kind of get an idea of what some of that physical media is that we need to physically control. Physical security is just as important as logical security. See, you can't really compute data if the system isn't there or it's been stolen, right? So like, as we're trying to do this video right now, I wouldn't be able to do this video if somebody physically took this computer. And that is why physical security control is just as important as some of the technical controls that we implement inside of our system and organization. But like I said, definitely catch up on some of those previous videos that we've done in the module so far, because I don't really want to go and rehash. I'm trying to keep these as short as possible. This is probably going to be the shortest one, by the way. And you can definitely go through and catch up on some of that physical stuff. But what can we do with a physical system should we circumvent all those physical security controls that we previously covered? Well, welcome to the Intro to Digital Forensics. And one of the best ways that we investigate inside of digital forensics is by having physical access to the device that we're actually trying to look into, right? So if I, the digital investigator, am on scene, I'm going to recover as much physical media or components as I possibly can to be able to go back to my lab and analyze everything. More security controls, you're definitely preventing somebody like me from being able to break in and take a look at things. And this could also be from a vulnerability standpoint as well. So we won't be going into digital forensics on this channel just yet. Let me know in the comments below if you really want to start diving into that. What we are going to take a look at is some of the flow and measures of what's actually going on inside of digital forensics, and specifically the order of volatility, to get into some of that basic investigative mindset. Now up on the screen, I'm going to be putting these up one by one as we go through these, because I'm going to put them up and then explain them. But the order of volatility is basically the order of how fast data goes away whenever we're processing it on an individual system. And starting from most volatile, meaning it can go away in an instant, to the least, meaning it will be there until we actually physically delete it ourselves. Starting at the top is the CPU cache. So everything that's going on in the processor right now, as soon as the system is turned off, guess what? Those CPU commands go away. And they actually go away a little bit before that too, because once the command is processed and it's moved into its logging or anything else like that, in the actual cache itself, it's gone. It's the RAM of the CPU. The next volatile thing are routing tables and process tables. So basically, if we have a process that's open right now, as soon as we close that process down, information generally goes away. There are logging methods and stuff like that, but I'm talking about the actual process itself. Same with the routing tables. If you're taking a look at a network device on the investigation side of the house, and you look at a routing table, you're only going to see what's in the most recent of routes that have taken place on the actual network itself. Then we move on into the system RAM. Now, data can be recovered from the RAM with ease if the system is still on. And you would have to keep the system on in order to be able to access data from that RAM. But once the system goes off, that RAM clears out. Or once something else loads up in that RAM, it could push something out that's a little bit older. So think about it as a cup, and you fill it halfway with water. That's one process that you've opened up. And then you come in with a gallon jug to start filling that cup up, and then you push out the original water that's in there because there's no more RAM space. Our next is temporary files and swap space. So temporary files that are written to the hard drive, those files are a lot easier to read than the RAM. Same as in the swap space, you can pull them out, but they generally do go away after a set amount of time, not necessarily when the machine turns off. And then you have what's actually on the hard disk, whether it be SSD or spinny, and then that data is written to the disk, and you can recover it later on, which makes it easier to do than RAM or anything like a routing table. And then you have remote logs, where like the event logs from your individual system, if you're on a domain, goes to a log collector. Everything's stored on that server, which is very easy to access and able to remove those logs from. And then finally, the least volatile of them all are backups, because that's the point of them, is that we make backups to where we can rely on them to hold on and protect that data for an indiscernible amount of time. If they were very volatile, then they wouldn't be very reliable as a backup. Now, through that list, I challenge you to go back in the video and also in the previous videos to see if you can identify different points of the order of volatility and see where you can identify the different physical components. Now, if you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you want to see in the future as I continue my way through the Security Plus modules. Don't forget, here at Panola.edu, we have the Cybersecurity, Networking, and Intro to Digital Forensics courses. You can obtain your degree online. And I hope you like this one, and I will see you in the next.